Welcome into Football Fanatic, and today we're going to be talking about who has made their case best for MVP of the 2020-2021 NFL season. So, as you can see on the screen, these are the four quarterbacks we're going to be looking at, and the the five players that best show or have the best chances at winning the MVP. We have Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Russell Wilson, and Lamar Jackson. These are the five frontrunners for the MVP, pretty unanimously. Um, in the first part of the season, Russell Wilson had a huge lead, and it looked like he was going to run away with the MVP. And then he kind of regressed a little bit mid-season, and that led the way for Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. Um, in the later half of the season, Mahomes kind of regressed a little bit near the end of the season. Russell Wilson picked it back up, but Lamar Jackson, the reigning MVP, and Josh Allen picked up their play and have edged their way into the MVP race. So as you can see on the screen, I made a little bit of a spreadsheet here with quarterback A, B, C, D, E. Those are the five quarterbacks we discussed earlier in no particular order. And we kind of went through which quarterbacks had the better stats of the year. So as you can see, quarterback A led basically across the board with touchdowns, interceptions, fumbles, completion percentage, the rating, their yards per attempt, their QB, and their QBR. The only other one was C, and C led with yards, but in every other category he was worse. As you can see, E looks pretty horrible as a quarterback, 23-8. Or he wasn't horrible, just not MVP caliber. Thing is with E, this is probably gonna give it away, but E is more of a rushing quarterback, and he is known primarily for his legs, and that's how he's known as such a threat, is because of his legs. Um, so I highlighted these here. These are the stats that led the five quarterbacks, and kind of put it like one highlight is 1 point, and A really took the cake. Um, yeah. So now we're going to be talking about who each quarterback is. So if we scroll down here, we can see A is Aaron Rodgers, B is Josh Allen, C is Patrick Mahomes, D is Russell Wilson, and E is Lamar Jackson. So if we go back to this spreadsheet up here, we can see that A is Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers is really just taken the cake. Not only has he taken the cake, he has played with less weapons than any of these quarterbacks here. Arguably, the top two receivers are Tyreek Hill and Davante Adams. Davante Adams is a Packer, and Tyreek Hill is the Chief. Also, with Mahomes, he has Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is probably the best tight end of this past 5 years since Gronk, really. And he, in later years, will probably have the chance to be the best tight end of all time. Travis Kelce right now is the best tight end in the NFL, and he will probably be that for years to come until someone else takes the cake. So Aaron Rodgers has done more with less than Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is really the number 2 guy in the MVP race. It really comes down to the most valuable player versus the most talented player. Many people get that confused when they're talking about the MVP race. The MVP race is the most valuable player, the most talented. Really, you're looking for which teams would be pretty much lost without that player. Many people go to Derrick Henry. I think he was really good in the beginning of the year, in the middle of the year, but he didn't have that good of a December, especially in games like the Packers. That is, the Titans are probably a team that would be lost without him. The Titans primarily run the ball. They'll run it up your throat until you give out. And as you know, he's got multiple 100-yard rushing games. I think he has like the longest streak in NFL history. Players like that. Aaron Rodgers, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. He isn't that great of a receiver. Tanya, isn't that great of a tight end, but Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. He makes the best of what he has, and he makes them turn into really good receivers that you need to account for. Now, yes, Devontae Adams is the best receiver in the game, and they're probably going to have to double him every week, so that might help some of the other receivers get open and stuff. But Aaron Rodgers has done a lot. He's also mobile. Um, he uses his legs a decent amount to uh, uh, shoot defenders and stuff, and he will get into the end zone rushing a lot more than you actually think. If we look at B is Josh Allen. Josh Allen really didn't come onto the scene until December, especially in games like the Steelers and the Patriots on Monday night. These Josh Allen uh, he's had a really good season. The one problem with him is the up and down uh, quarterback ratings. And I'm going to show you a little graphic of his ratings over the season because it's pretty shocking and inconsistent. So if you look here, we are on the ESPN website. This is Josh Allen's stat page. You can find this by just either looking up this exact URL up here, or you can just search his name right here. So if you look here, he has had some really good weeks, such as the Patriots, Denver, but then he also has some bad games like the Steelers, the Chargers, the Arizona. Some of these games over here, primarily his losses, are the ones where he struggles. He can do really well. Look at this. Week 1, he had a 67 QBR. That is horrible. Um, over here in the losses, he's had a really up and down year. Some games he will do really good, and other games he will do really bad. Look, he almost has a perfect QBR on this against Miami. The QBR is 1 out of 100, and he had a 97. Also, his rating, the max you can have is 153.7, I think. So he's real close. But some of these, like Tennessee and Kansas City, he was nowhere close. He had he didn't have a great game. If you look also, these are games where he turns the ball over. You can't turn the ball over in the postseason. So I give Josh Allen not a great chance of winning the MVP, especially when you look at other people like Aaron Rodgers, who is consistent on an every week basis. Okay, we're going back here. C was Patrick Mahomes. He's really the only other guy that has a serious case against Aaron Rodgers for the MVP. Now the thing with Mahomes hasn't had a great December. Now many people will argue that uh, Andy Reid is just trying to see what works and see what doesn't work. I've seen a lot of things out there that kind of say that, but either way, if he's trying to win an MVP, well, if he's trying to win an MVP, this isn't the way to go. I mean, he's 38-6. That's good, but Rodgers is better. Mahomes has 3 fumbles. Rodgers has 1. Their completion percentage, Rodgers has a 4% lead on him, and a 10-point higher quarterback rating. The one thing is their yards per attempt are about the same. And I think you come to expect that with a high-flying Chiefs offense where you're completing 50-yard bombs to Tyreek Hill almost on a weekly basis. His QBR is an 82. I mean, that's right up there with Rodgers. But Rodgers is just better. He's doing more with less. You could say Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams are about the same skill level when it comes to receiver, but Tanya, tight end, is definitely not Travis Kelce. So he has done more with less, which means he is more valuable as a player than Mahomes is to the Chiefs. Rodgers is more valuable to the Packers than Mahomes is to the Chiefs. If you look back to 2017, they were still making the postseason with Alex Smith. No, it would have been the 2017 season. They were still able to make the postseason with Alex Smith. And yes, he wasn't able to win, but they could still get there. They would still be probably an 8-8, 9-7 team without Mahomes. Yes, Mahomes adds a lot of talent to that roster, but the Packers would be completely lost without Rodgers. I think they would be going 6-10, 7-9. I mean, they would be a lot like the Falcons. They have a great receiver in Julio Jones, but they have no other. They're not really talented anywhere else. You could say Calvin Ridley is, but if you look at them, they're like 4-11. They're not going to the playoffs. They're not even close to the playoffs. Um, also, let's look at D. D is Russell Wilson. He had a really good beginning of the year. The first, I would say, 6 or 7 weeks, he was top notch, and then he played. I'm pretty sure it was the who was it? It was the Rams, I think. No, it might have been the Dolphins. The Dolphins were just getting hot, and the here I'm gonna pull up the game log. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. It wasn't Miami. It was Arizona. Remember that game on Sunday night where Arizona started to make their midseason push for the postseason. Um, he threw the ball 50 times. Yes, this was a game in OT. There was a lot of missed field goals that would have won it for both teams. But he threw 3 interceptions in that game. If you are winning football games, you can't be throwing 3 interceptions. Um, he's gotten sacked a lot. His offensive line hasn't been the same since it was earlier. Like Dallas. Dallas doesn't have that great of a pass rush. They allowed 4 sacks. So I think that's a area of concern for them. His completion percentage. This is really the game where he started to fall off, and he started to move down the MVP ranks. He only had a 66 completion percentage, which is average. Uh, if you look at Rodgers, he's at 70. Um, the yards per attempt is pretty good, but he threw 3 interceptions, which was big. And when you're only having a rating of 84 out of 153, that's not good. And here, I would say was his worst game of the year right here, against the LA Rams for the first time. He had a 59 completion percentage and a 6.7 yards per attempt. That is not good at all. He was 0 for 2, through 2 interceptions. Granted, he was sacked 3 times, but in this game, this was definitely his low. He had a 57 quarterback rating out of 153. Um, and this is kind of the decline of Russell Wilson this year. Uh, I expect him to be back in his MVP form next year, but right now he's not doing good. Another one. This was a crushing loss for them. Not only in Russell's MVP bid, but the Seahawks #1 seed thing. So originally they were like 5-0 when they were looking good at the um, NFC playoff picture, but this game really killed them. 17-12. He had 62% completion percentage, a 6.1 yard average, 1 TD to 1 interception. New York, the Giants' defense isn't really that good. He has 28 QBR. That's horrible. Um, and only a 78 rating. Uh, Even if you look at Washington, yeah, Washington's defense is top notch, but he did not play well. 60, he was 1 for 1. He had a 73 rating. He just fell down. He just fell off down the stretch. They were really good up here against these, now looking back, pretty bad teams, except for Miami. But this was before Miami was good. They were like 1-3, I think, at this point. And then they fell apart to good teams: Arizona, Buffalo, uh, apparently the Giants, even when the Giants were hot. So we're gonna come back here and we're gonna look at Lamar Jackson. So this was a guy. He's the reigning MVP. He won it last year. The thing with Lamar, He doesn't have really good passing stats, but where he thrives is his rushing stats. He has almost 1,000 yards on the year. He has, I think it's like 903. I think he broke Michael Vick's rushing yards in the season in like week 12. I'll have to go back and check, but I think that's true. Here, why don't we just pull it up right now? Okay, I'm back. If we look at Lamar in the past 4 games, they're on a 4-game winning streak, and they've beaten impressive teams like Cleveland in that thrilling Sunday nighter, or yeah, Sunday night, 47-42. That was a great game. They beat the brakes off of Dallas, beat the brakes off of Jacksonville, um, and convincingly beat the New York Jets. Um, Lamar has played good, I would say. He isn't going to impress you with his passing stats. Um, he can throw the ball, just not at an MVP caliber level. Now, if we go here, this is where he really takes the cake. He has 80 yards rushing against the Jets. The Giants. He has 124 against Cleveland, and they have a pretty good defensive front with Myles Garrett and Ebelcon. No, Ogbon, I think is his name. Um, Against Dallas, he had that 44-yard, 37-yard touchdown run. He had 2 rushing touchdowns. They love the read option, and it's really deadly against some of these teams. And if you look back at Week 1, 38-6, they were on a tear. Really, this is the game they should have won. Um, it, he just he's not the most valuable player. He's played great. He made the Pro Bowl, I'm pretty sure, but he's just not that great of a passer. So I hope this has at least helped you get more informed about this MVP race and who I think at least will win this thing. I think Aaron Rodgers will win. I know this has been a pretty hotly contested one. Usually, they're almost I wouldn't say a runaway, but you usually know who's going to win. This one, I think, it wasn't really clear until this week when Mahomes barely beat Atlanta after a last-second miss by Younghoe Koo. I hope this has helped clear you up. And if you liked it, please hit the like button. And if you really loved it, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. This has been Football Fanatic, and I am out. See you later.